I can see you're all jumping up and down. Is there anyone here?
Yes.
Welcome to the quiz for our first class this term. I tried to make it easy.
But did you make us smart?
Oh, that's what I should do. I should try and make you smart. Darn. Okay, I'll do that next time. Okay, so
We're back to class. We're back to class. Hello. We need a Giku with an electric cord.
We got geeks.
Geek. So
I can answer this question if we want, but you have to pay me $100.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Aside from appearing as an external object, what are the ways that blue shows itself to you according to the mind-only school? We'll do the English first and then the Tibetan.
Memory?
It starts.
Memory?
So
No.
we've been talking about these two for several terms now.
Oh, yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Tim says a visual thing and something that starts.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's
But
gonna
he
be.
should have said no and paper.
Yep. Blue shows its essential nature, blue.
Huh.
And blue shows its characteristics. Blue started or bright blue. And
Or
We-
blue is something I can, yeah, okay.
yeah. And we got the Tibetan from the master translator.
Yay.
So now what's going on when we recognize blue as blue? If you want a hint, I can give you a hint.
I think
It has
it's
something to do with Gibson's tie.
Oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's.
Oh, you're just remembering that
Yeah.
you saw blue, right? You saw the tie blue, and then you recall
that way?
that you saw blue.
Right. So we're not aware of blue in the moment we're seeing blue. Rather, later we recognize it as blue by focusing on the memory of blue. And then the other thing about that is that the power of the original visual perception automatically elicits that recollection. We don't have to quiz ourselves.
Okay. And
Geshe-la,
yeah,
excuse me, Venerable Paul, it's about this. And isn't this the opposite of what you said in the ACI courses? I know, isn't, I don't know if you remember, but I know it's been a while, but like.
I do remember I taught some courses.
I know you don't like being quoted on some of the course stuff, but wasn't
No, you do remember Geshe-la on October 3rd, 1983?
93, Geshe-la. No, isn't it true that the whole bear bite thing is that the middle way school says the example uses pizza. You said, oh, I remember eating pizza because we had pizza. We ate pizza because I remember pizza, but the mind only school says we need apperception. So what gives?
I think we're going to answer this question better in this class.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about this question.
Okay.
I think we better do the class today. They're more focusing on the bakchak, what's that bakchak? The special kind of bakchak.
The next question. It's the next question. Don't give it away.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure of this question here. Okay. But
Okay.
it's going to be answered in detail this class.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Venerable Paula. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. And I believe it's more complex than we understand right now. Okay.
just
Okay.
Does anyone remember the Tibetan phrase for the automatic part of the process?
Something with wrong in it.
And something with Mick in it?
Oh, yeah.
Rang Mik. Rang Wang Gik.
Mikshe de rang
Yeah.
tok ki drempa.
Mm.
Of course. You had the wrong Mick, Nick.
Mhm.
So now in this class, we discussed two kinds of propensity for identifying blue as blue. Please briefly describe each in English, identifying which is ultimately to blame, and then also give their names in Tibetan. But let's do the English first.
Mhm.
Tim said the Bakchak of the moment before, which is called Riktumbi Bakchak, which creates the blue of the next, the continuation of the blue. Is one, yeah, that's one kind of Bakchak. Good.
And the other one is from the seeds of expression from beginningless lifetimes of seeing things that way.
Munjo Bakshi.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
the
it's not
mixed
just from
classes
seeing
are
things that
approaching
way, but
that.
from naming them that way, from calling them that, right? That's why it's a seed of expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that.
And then we got the Tibetan already.
Yay. Remember Jippy Bakchak. Okay.
Boom. Pretty big.
Yay.
Pretty blue sky. You know, I was thinking about this because I was frustrated with seeing blue as blue. Keep your picture if you would for a moment, Upala. I was thinking about what do we call blue when we add a little bit of light color to it?
Oh, shoot.
Right, we say
light?
it's, but what do we call red when we add a little light color to it?
Pink.
Pink.
Yeah, and somehow that's a different color. And if you say that pink is red, then somehow we're supposed to think you're wrong. But that's just blue, but light blue is just blue. And then if the Tibetans say, right, sometimes blue and green, right, either could be ngumbo,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
isn't green just blue? It's just a little more yellow. Or Kurdish, right, could be blue or black, right?
Blue or black.
Right. So, but I do feel like I see that, and I think it has to be blue. I don't know. Some of that got me closer to feeling like I'm seeing the world wrong.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty
for what
interesting.
it's worth.
Yeah. Say it again. Rosa says periwinkle. Okay. Okay. Venerable Upala went ahead, right?
Yep.
Man, this is extremely difficult.
I know. Tokpe, Tane, Jarwa, Gompe, Shakpe, Bakchaki, Wangi, Sharwe, Nangwa, Tsam, Impe, Nangwa, De la Mingdang, Dre, Shakpa, Tsamki, Nangwa Dang, Tokpe, Wangi, Shakpe. That should be a pe. Nangwa, Shejala.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Appearance is a mere appearance arising due to propensities put in place by the mental habit of conceptually applying words. Consequently, it appears as merely established by names and mental images. That is to say, it appears as merely established through the influence of conception.
Okay. Just a couple comments because
Thank
this
you.
would take like a half hour.
Well, let's take it
Jar-
then.
Okay.
But let's do it when you've got the screen.
Well,
I mean,
why?
I'm probably way far off it, so you might as well do it while you've got the screen.
No, we can go. But I warn you, in this next section today, we have to go very slow. Okay. So the shakpa here in the BZHAG, Pao Shaka Shak, is the past tense of joke. So bakchak joke means what? To plant a bakchak.
Planted seed, yeah.
Okay, so this shakpa, which looks like to set or to put into place, it's not that verb. It's a different verb. It's the verb joke, which means to plant a bakchak. Okay, so then yeah, komba means the habit of how would you say, the habit of applying terms with your imagination or something like that. Okay. Okay.
I don't want to use terms because we're going to use terms when we talk about, oh no, I didn't use terms. I didn't use names and terms for Ming Dang Dre. I used names and mental images. But if we use terms instead of mental images down here for, where is it? I can't see it this big. It's so huge on my screen. Ming Dang Dre.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if we
So
use terms
topa,
instead of mental images, then we shouldn't use terms here either for Tane, right?
well, the point is, this whole process of Ngunjuki Bakchak, right? Ngunjuki Bakchak, that from beginning this time, using certain words for certain objects. So much that now it seems as though that word applies to that object automatically. Okay? So we get used to thinking of something with a certain word. That's what it says. Okay? We get used to thinking of something with a certain word.
We want
Over
to say
billions-
certain words?
Well, no, but I'm just trying to make it so we can understand it.
Uh-huh.
You think for countless lifetimes, when you saw this color, you thought of it as blue. This tokpa means you thought of it as blue. You see, in your imagination applied the term to that color countless times. Therefore, you got into a habit, right? And that comb in turn planted a bakchak. Okay, good. That habit planted a seed in your mind. Okay.
Mhm.
For imagination, because it's not real. It has a
Yeah,
connotation
I want a connotation of not real. Yeah, it's your imagination.
of imagination.
You are almost
No.
randomly putting names on things. And it's definitely not ratatata. It's not realization. This spelling means just whatever you want to do. You see what I mean? Randomly applying names to things so often that it seems those names apply to them automatically. Randomly applying names to things so often that you start to think that name belongs to that thing. But it doesn't. It's just from the habit of doing it randomly for billions of years. Okay? You could have called blue fish, and you could have called fish blue. And then you would swear every time you see a fish that's blue. You see what I mean? Okay.
That wouldn't necessarily imply that for all those lives you spoke the same language.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not necessarily. Yeah. Okay. Gombe, Shakbe, Jokbe, Bakchaki, Wonki. And then he's following a flow. He's following a flow. Okay. Countless lifetimes, you have applied a certain word to a certain object, to a certain color. And then that planted a seed. And then the seed in turn, okay, Wonki. Okay. Then the seed now, Sharwe Nangwa Tsam, just creates a picture in your mind of this thing as blue. Okay, you call it blue for countless lifetimes. You plant a seed in your mind. The seed opens later, and then that thing seems to be blue automatically. Okay, so it's a time progression in this first line. Cool. Okay, and then it's Shadwa means then it seems to you as though the blue is automatically blue. Okay, Nangwat Sam Yimbe, that's all. Okay. And that the way it appears to you when the seed opens has two aspects. The way it appears to you when the seed opens has two aspects. Number one, it is simply a creation of names. It exists in name only, okay? That to call that blue is just words. It just exists in words, number one. And number two, it just exists through imagination. And that's going to be important for this whole class today. Two things are going on, okay? Number one, it seems as though names apply to those objects automatically. Number two, they are simply being established by your imagination. Different things, okay? Calling it a name and thinking of it in a certain way are different things, okay, right? Okay, so he says two things are going on, okay? You are using words to think of that thing, blue, and also just your mind making up this connection between the word and the color, okay? So two things are going on. There's a word creating the connection, and there's an imagination creating the connection. And he's going to follow that because for him, that's important. Two things are going on. You have used the word blue so often towards this object that now that's creating the connection between the color and the word. And then your imagination has been working overtime and creating this automatic connection between the word and the object. Okay, so it's imagination and words. Okay. Okay.
About the second
Yeah.
when Ben mentioned about the light,
Yeah.
pointing at that color, so I didn't look at it, but I was thinking about light blue and that color image.
Mm-hmm.
That's category of imagination.
Yeah.
Contemplating on the name I heard.
Well, I'll just throw this out. K2J is trying to say two things are going on. There's something going on with words, and there's something going on with imagination. And that's how that ancient seed works. Okay. It makes you apply certain words to the color, A, and it makes you think in a certain way about the color, B. Okay. Who? The bakchak. Which bakchak? The one planted by countless eons of using the same word for the same object. Okay. Even though they are not necessarily connected, you think they are because you did it countless times. You could have called it fish instead of blue. Okay. Is that okay? Good. So two things are at work here, imagination and words. And we say that in middle way too, right? Mingdan De Shakpa. Ming De Shakpa. Very, very famous in and that's why I wanted to link this discussion to Madhyamika right here. Because in Madhyamika, you say Ming De Shakpa, only established in names and terms, but the term means ideas. Okay, so even in Madhyamika, you blame names and you blame ideas. Ming De Shakpa, right?
How can we know refers to the actual name or
Say again?
the me can mean name or picture, right?
No, the da can mean, yeah, da means indicator. Yeah, and it's a very rare word. It means term. You can call name in terms, okay? But really it's names and thoughts, names and pictures, okay? In Madhyamika, it's name and pictures. Here it's names and imagination.
Okay, Ultimately, only the wind.
Yeah, you can say, yeah, you can say that.
What did he say that you can say?
Well,
We
Stanley's
can't hear
saying
anything
if-
of what goes on there in the classroom.
All right. Stanley's saying, look, Madhyamika has this expression. Everything is Ming De Shak Tsam. Tsam means it's nothing more than that. So the Tsam is easy, right? Nothing more than that. Shak here is not the same Shak as here. And it means established through names and pictures. Okay, names and pictures. And Stanley said, Gesla, can you just drop the name, right? Because isn't it really just pictures? The mental pictures are creating things. And you could say that. You could say that. Yeah. Anyway, in this discussion, Kedubje is trying to draw a distinction between naming things or using terms, he says, pictures, okay, and imagination. And imagination implies the possibility of mistake. Okay, all right? He doesn't spell it with an S, RTOG, okay? Okay, and that's going to be important here, all right? So let's try to read the sentence again, okay? Let's see if we... Tope Tane Jawa Kombe. Your imagination keeps applying the same word to the same color over and over, okay? And that plants a bakchak in your mind. And when that bakchak opens, it seems like the object is automatically blue. Okay? It seems like the object is automatically blue and could never have been green or yellow. The same color could never have been called green. The same color could never have been called yellow. It seems automatically blue. And what Ben said, I keep thinking about it. There is a deeper level, Ben, which goes beyond language. Yeah. It's not just the name blue in English or something like that. It's to identify it as a color that matches the color of the ocean or something like that. It could have been yellow. Okay. Apples could have been orange. Oranges could have been red. You see what I mean? Really red. Colors are
Really red.
even all oranges could have been red and all apples could have been orange, real orange, because even color is not self-existent. Mm-hmm. Green could have been red. Blue could have been yellow, not just in the name, but in its appearance. Blue could look yellow if you had the karma to see it that way. You know, you could say, oh, there'd be poets talking about the banana color of the ocean. Even such a thing as basic as a color could have been another color, and not just by name, but by reality. Mm-hmm. And that's the point that Ben was making nicely the other day. Yeah. Well, there's this thing, you want to go deeper, okay? There's this thing in Buddha where they can hear color. Mm-hmm. Okay, for example, they can hear color. And they're not it's not that they have super senses. It's not that their ears are so special that they can hear color. It's that they have the karma for color to appear to their ear as a sound. Okay? And so if you could have the karma for blue to appear as the sound of a stream, then what's so difficult about blue appearing as red? And not just the name blue, but the color blue. And then the ocean would be red and apples would be blue. And Jimi Hendrix would be right. The traffic lights that turn blue on Sunday. Is there such a thing? I'm gonna ask him. Why did he think of it? Okay. Anyway, so basically, not just what he's saying, Kirubje, in the first sentence. Here's what's important in the first sentence, and I don't mind to go slow here. We could go faster and not understand it if you want to do that. Okay. So first one. Over and over, you refer to something with a certain idea. You think of blue, you think of a certain color as blue over and over. And that plants a seed. And when that seed opens, it seems like all those things are blue to you. And there's two things going on there. There's a thing with names, which is more shallow. You're getting used to the word blue applying to that color. But on a deeper level, you are perceiving it as the same color. On a deeper level, you're seeing that thing as a blue color when it could have been yellow. Okay. All right. And it seems to you that the ocean is blue. Okay. But it's your blue laying on the ocean. Okay. Good. All right. Let's go to the second sentence. Udpala. You ready? You okay?
Wang shela suk sok ngo dang kepar ki tane ki shir nangwan tar suk sok ngo dang tane ki kepar ki shir tane de yet ching deyang ming dang tope shak basan yin so shep matak ba dang drala.
Yeah. Now, in the last sentence, they didn't talk about Wangshe. Okay. They never mentioned Wangshe. If you check 286,
Right.
they had made no mention of Wangshe. Okay. Now he's taking it to your Wangshe. Okay. Let's assume that your imagination or your mind could get drugged or something and see blue as yellow. Okay. Let's say that that's possible. But what about, or think of blue as yellow. But can you, and this is a big question in the Wheel of Life teachings, when you say that you see things as self-existent, is that only an opinion of your intellect? Or does your eye actually see things as self-existent? And what's the answer?
In which
Yeah,
school?
your eye
Mind
is
only is
expect-
saying your eye is seeing it that way.
Yeah, and your senses are infected. The whole 12 links are infected. It's an interesting thing. Your sensory equipment is broken.
Mhm.
When me and Christy taught this something similar in Bahamas, on the last day we went into town to the tourist shops and we bought 60 pairs of red sunglasses. And we had everybody put them on and we said, is everything red? And they all said, yes, and we said, get it? You've been wearing red sunglasses your whole life. Okay. Anyway, it was expensive. Wangshe la suk ngo da kepa kitani kishin mama. It appears as to your eyeball. Now forget your mind. Okay. Don't talk about your mind. To your eyeball, to your sensory perceptions, to your your awareness of what you see. Wangshe la suk, it appears that that blue is both itself and also has certain qualities from its own side. Okay, blue is called blue by itself, and blue is called something I can see, and blue is called, what was the other one?
Something kind of.
Oh, starting.
It starts.
Yeah.
Or stops.
Starts. Yeah. So it appears as though it not only appears that that color is automatically blue, but it appears that it's being something you can see rather than taste is also fixed. It could never be something you could taste, that color. And it could never be something, and that it's starting is also part of it, okay? And for example, you can never have a blue that didn't start. All right. Okay. It appears to you like that shir namata suk sok lo dan tanya ki kepa ki shir tanya di ye ching. Nominally, yeah, is the connection between blue color and the word blue, is it nominal or is it ultimate?
No.
Could you have called it yellow? Yeah, it's also artificial. The connection between the color blue and the name blue is artificial. Shirtanye to ye ching means that connection between blue and the name blue, and the connection between blue and the idea that it's something you can see, these are all artificial connections created by your karma. Blue could have been a taste, and blue could have been red. And blue starting could be blue ending. Whoa. Okay. It's just connections that you're putting on it. You're making those connections. Blue starting could have been blue ending. Blue could have been yellow. And blue could have been something you taste. And it's not weird. If you think it's weird, you have that ancient bhakti. If you think it's weird that you could taste blue, you have that ancient bakchak is causing you trouble. Okay. By the way, if you stop thinking like that, if you were open to the idea of blue being a good taste, and you were open to the idea of blue starting is really blue stopping, and you were open to the idea that blue is actually yellow, you might be close to enlightenment.
Or on acid.
Giving blue, it's not the case.
Say again?
Just all that just depends on the definition you are giving to blue. It's not the case.
Well, let's put it this way, okay? And this is an interesting thing that we covered in advanced level 2. The objects that you see are coming from you. The red raspberry is coming from you. I gotta get rid of one of them. The red raspberry is coming from you. You are coming from you. Your perception of the raspberry is coming from you. The red raspberry is coming from you. Michael is coming from Michael. And Michael seeing the raspberry is coming from Michael. And the fact that Michael is in the same room with the red, and that there's a connection between Michael and the red, is also coming from Michael. So not only those elements are coming from Michael, the color red, Michael sitting on the couch, and Michael looking at the raspberry, not only are those 3 things coming from Michael, but the fact that we even met each other is also coming from Michael. Okay, got it? The fact that there's a tie between me and red right now, that connection is also coming from my karma. And we don't talk about that much. Is the pen coming from your karma? Yeah. Are you coming from your karma? Yeah. Is the seeing the pen coming from the karma? Yeah. Is the fact that the you and the seeing and the pen are all somehow connected? Is that coming from you? Because that's a different thing. And then you have to say, yes, it's coming from me. Okay. You could have seen something blue. You could be tasting the blue. That when it sounds that weird to you, we are touching your ancient bhakti. When I say, how does blue taste? And your mind goes, then we know that we're touching on a real bhakti. Because at that moment you say, no, come on, Geshe-la, that's too much. Gyaltse has a question, and I will repeat it as she talks.
Something of synesthesia.
Yeah.
Yes, synesthesia.
Yeah, I was just writing that in the chat.
Connected with colors and taste, and people who have that kind of sensibility, that they experience it differently than the majority of us.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about when you say blue. It could be my yellow. Yeah, right? There's no way to confirm it. Okay, anyway, Tanya can keep on. She Tanya the Yurchin Dayan Mingdan Tope Shaksam. Notice here in the third line, second half of the third line, they have gone back to the distinction between naming and imagining. Ming Dang Topa. Okay, he went back to that. He's insisting that we not only talk about names, but we have to talk imagining separately. Okay, applying names to something and thinking of something as something are separate. Okay, he wants to separate them. Ming Dan Tope, Shaktam Yin, they're only established that way. Yin su Shema Takan Tapa Dan Da La. The way now when he says Dala at the end of this sentence, Utpala, I had to go back to 286 and read it because 286 and 287 sounded exactly the same to me. And it was bothering me because he said at the end of 287, he said, by the way, this is similar to 286. And I was irritated because I couldn't see any difference between 286 and 287. But he said they are similar. And I thought he just repeated the same words over and over again. But I'll point out to you.
Ming Dang Topa, not Ming Dang Dre.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the difference because that's what I found.
Oh, Ming Dang Day, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Ming Dang Day. Yeah, good. Okay. But I also point out he mentions Wangshe in 287. Okay. So 286 could be more mental and 287 could be more physical senses. It's not so hard to think that you are thinking the wrong way about blue, but it is harder to think that your eye's not doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can say my mind is mistaken, but to say that your eyeball is automatically mistaken, that gets a little weird. And how are you going to fix that? You know, if there's something wrong with the skin in your eyeball or something, you know, then what? You know? So anyway, I point out that 287, he's talking about Wangshe. And in 286, I assume he's talking about mental consciousness, okay? What he's saying that is even your equipment is broken.
I thought as was explained earlier, goes way back to when he first brought up the idea that, when he first brought up the idea that the essential nature of a thing and its characteristics are made up by your mind. And that was way above.
Yeah,
and
but now he's implying
talking,
that it's made up by your senses.
Well, he's finally getting to the point where he's going to answer our guy's question, which is how the heck can a sense consciousness which does not think be mistaken? How can it be deceived like that?
Good. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to prepare you for the next paragraph. You ready?
Oh, wait. Can you first prepare me for how the heck to translate this sentence?
287?
No, what I've got highlighted.
Sorry.
What is the day? What is the day?
The blue.
Okay.
The blue. Okay. The lumbo. He doesn't mention it, I guess. Oops. Okay. It's did he mention blue anywhere here?
No, he hasn't.
He's talking about the color. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just picked up appearance. I assumed because there's no subject anywhere in here except for this sentence. But yeah, there's no subject in here.
Yeah.
And there's no subject in the second half.
It's the blue, must be in 285. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
thank-
Stanley wants to point out that there's music called blues.
really?
Playing the blues. Okay.
So you wanted me to also think about, I mean, I don't know if we want to go here or just wait until we've had more teachings on this to talk about the distinction between the mind-only school and the consequence school with regards to this.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What similarity is there in this? Is there a similarity in language here to the language that we're going to encounter in the middle way school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, the exact same words, Ming Deng Da,
Right.
name and term, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
They use
And I'll
talk
set you
instead
up-
of shock. They use
say they use
talk
joke instead of talk, right?
instead of.
Oh yeah,
shock.
yeah, you can say that. That's okay. That's okay. You can say that. By the way, the difference there is that in the mind only school here, and by the way, which is also the sutra school, and that's going to be a subject coming up next. Okay. So in both the sutra school, the second school, and the mind only school, they're going to be talking about how we apply names and pictures or thoughts to objects. Okay. And they both recognize that we do that. Okay. Both the second school and the third school, they both use the same language in a way. We are applying names and concepts to things. Okay. They all agree. The second school says, yes, we are applying names and concepts to things. The third school says, yes, we are applying names and concepts to things. And the higher school says, yes, we are applying names and ideas to things. Okay. But is it natural or not is a debate.
What do you mean natural? I mean, mind only is not saying it's natural. It's saying that it happens because you've been doing it for, countless times over time with no beginning.
Exactly. And that's where Kidder J is going next. That's what's happening in the next few sentences. He's saying, and by the way, natural means ranki tseniki drupa.
Oh.
Okay. Is the connection between blue and this color, and is the connection between the concept blue and this color, is it natural or not?
So whether it's natural to the blue and the thought, or whether it's natural that that's what we do, like that's the way we work.
They both agree that that's the way we work. And that's an interesting thing. You see, both the second school and the third school recognize that our relationship to blue is conceptual. Okay. But the second school says it's natural. It's conceptual and natural. And the third school says it's conceptual and artificial. And we're going there next. You want to go?
Yes, please.
Let's go there. Okay. Oh, my turn. Uh-huh. All right. And by the way, don't get frustrated that we're not moving much. And we could go faster and we just wouldn't understand it. So.
No, I'm used to it. Last term we spent a whole day. Well, actually, we spent like 3 days on one stanza.
Yeah, and I was in the car today and I was getting impatient because I was getting closer to Sedona and I was on the fourth time I read this thing and I was like, I'm not going to make it. Okay, so here we go. Please read Utpala. It's, by the way, I apologize. He's got some copy in sentence analysis.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
It's a 5-line sentence.
His
teacher taught it.
Wang se la suk sok ngo dang keparki tane ki shir rangi tsene ki drupar nangwa dang Nangwa tar du sultane ki shir rangitsene ki drupa ni ga ang ming dang tope takbayin sul ngama dang dra yang takpa tar tane sam du yang shima drupe. That P
Good.
reminds me we're going to change that K up above.
Okay. Let's go slow. Oh, it didn't. Oh, we have another sentence again. Wangshe means your eye consciousness, right? Your awareness of your eye, your awareness of what your eye is seeing,
Well,
right?
he's talking about more general here, but because we're talking about visual form and so on, right? He's just talking about sense consciousnesses.
Yeah, but in this case, it's the eye. Okay. I mean, okay. Your eye sense consciousness. When it sukso ngona kepa kitanya kishir, does the blue appear to be the she? Okay.
The basis.
The referent of the term blue. Okay. Does what you see with your eyes appear to be the referent, the she, of the word blue, and also of the words, this is something I can see, or this is something that started, okay? Those words, okay? This is something I can see. This is blue. This is something that started, okay? Is there something you can see with your eye to which those terms refer? I'll say it again. Hey, this is blue, number one. Number two, hey, this is something I can see, number two. Number three, hey, this is blue, start. Now it's blue is start. This bread is turning blue. In my house. Okay. Those three things. Is the blue what you're talking about with those three expressions? Is it the Tanyiki shi?
Yeah.
Is
nominally speaking.
Yeah, nominally. Yeah. Okay. So even to your sense consciousnesses, it seems like blue is what you're talking about when you say either this is blue, or this is something I can see, or this is something that started, right? Okay. Now, does it appear that those expressions apply to blue automatically?
It doesn't.
To me, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, to your sense consciousness, especially to your sense consciousness. I mean, forget your mind. You could debate how your mind thinks about it, but your sense consciousness, if you could ask your eyeballs, do you think this is blue? Do you think it's something you can see? They'd say, stupid question. Of course it is. Okay. All right. Rankin said dupa nawa. So nawa means what?
Appears.
Yeah. To your eyes, it appears like blue is what you're talking about when you say, hey, this is blue, or hey, this is something I can see, or hey, this is a color which started, right? To your eyes, it appears that that's what you're talking about. Nangwa, okay? And then nangwa can be correct or incorrect. Can I say that?
Mm-hmm.
It appears that my husband has a girlfriend because he's on his phone and he's smiling. And then you find out he was buying you a birthday present, right? But that's a nangwa, right? Could it also appear that he was buying you a present? So some nangwas are correct and some nangwas are incorrect. But generally, what?
You would call that, I would have to say, a logical conclusion. My husband is on his phone and I cannot see what he's writing. That's what appears to me. But the conclusion is that he has a girlfriend. That's not seen by my eyes. My eyes only see the phone. and not
Yeah. No,
the back of the phone.
I'm just okay. I'm trying to explore the word appear. Forget everything else. When you say it appears to be true, what are you implying? You're implying it could be wrong. Is the real estate honest? The real estate agent, you say, well, they appear to be honest. Okay. All right. Now, so it appears even to your eyes that the blue should be called blue, that the blue is what you're talking about when you say, I can see it. And the blue is what you're talking about when you say it started. The blue started, right? Okay. It appears even to your eyes. Okay. And nawatadu, is it true as it appears? That's another question. I'll say it again. Does it appear to your eyes that this color is blue? Yes. And then is that appearance correct? Is it really the way it appears? Nawatadu drupa. Is it really the way it appears? Right, not necessarily, okay? Is blue what your eyes are thinking about when they say this is blue? Not necessarily, but Ranki Senigi. Is this blue appearing as blue? Is this blue appearing to be what we call blue? Yeah, Tanyaki Shi means, is this blue appearing to be what we call blue? Yeah. Is it appearing that way automatically? Yeah. The second school says it is. The third school says it's not. And that's what he's trying to say here. Okay. Tanyeki Shir Ranki Tseniki Drupa means this blue is automatically what I call blue. Okay. This blue is automatically what I call blue. Would the second school agree that I am calling blue blue? Yeah. Would the third school agree that I am calling blue blue? Yeah. The second school would say, I am calling blue blue automatically. And the third school would say, no, no, no. You are calling blue blue artificially. Okay, got it? Okay. So I can send it to you. Nika Mindan Tope Takpa Yinsu Ngabana Dayan Takpa Tar Tanya Tamdi Yang Shima Dupe. And so is blue what you call blue? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Is blue what you call blue? Yeah. In the second school and the third school, blue is what you call blue. Is it automatically what you call blue? Second school, yes. Third school, no. That's an artificial creation. Okay? Takpatar Tanya Samdiyang Shima Dupe. Now, does there exist a connection between blue and the word blue in the second school?
Sure.
Yeah, automatically. In the third school,
It's connected by two types of bakchak.
in the third school, is there a connection between blue and the word blue, even just nominally?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, because you.
Yeah, and this sentence at the end says no. Shima drupa, shima drup. Shi drup means there is. Shima drupa means no, there isn't.
Even if it's artificial, there is no.
They say no. Is there a connection between blue and the word blue? In the second school, yes. In the second school, is it automatic? Yeah. Is it natural? Yes. In the third school, is there a connection between blue and blue? What are you talking about?
An artificial connection.
They say not even an artificial connection.
So then you, why do you call?
Mm.
That's the.
Now let's go to the next sentence and it'll help you a lot. Okay.
We are
Let's
over
go to the-
time a little bit.
Let's skip the review because this sentence is going to help you guys a lot, and I'll read it. Suk so ngo dan keper gitani ki shi yamba, shi drupe kuntak, suk sok ngod and kepar gitani ki shirang gitani ki drupa shima drupe kuntak. In this school, there are two imaginary things. In this school, there are two imaginary things. Kuntak, right? Remember, we're still in the three characteristic school. Kuntak, Yondrup, and Shenwang, right? Kuntak means imaginary, existing only by imagination, okay? Kuntak, okay? And even in the mind-only school, there are two kinds of kuntak. What? Lies are kuntak. The sky is green to everybody. That's kuntak. That's a conceptual thing and it's false, okay? And then emptiness itself in this school is kuntak. Sorry, Yongdu. There is kuntaks which do exist. Concepts are kuntak. They are neither shenwang, like she's mental images are unchanging, right? But they are imaginary. There's imaginary things which are real, and there's imaginary things which are false, okay? In other words, there are kuntaks here in this sentence, which are shidup, and there are kuntaks which are shimadup. Shidrup is a synonym for
existing thing.
existent, or yupa. There are imaginary things which exist, and there are imaginary things which don't exist. Purple elephant. Okay, it's imaginary and it doesn't exist. But there are also conceptual things like democracy, which are neither form nor mind, but they are just nominal ideas, but they exist. Okay, got it? I guess they used to exist.
Geshe-la,
Yeah.
in course 15, don't use the example of like someone's
Don't
name.
quote those 1983 courses to me. Why?
It's all I
No,
have. Like
you got the
Tashi,
golden key, may I point out.
it doesn't talk about kuntaks. It does not mention one time.
I'll make you a bet that it does.
Okay.
Okay.
Like Tashi, like the name of somebody, that's a Shidrupe kuntak, right? Like
I would say yes. The
Yeah.
concept of a person is Shidrube Kantak. Yeah, Kuntak, yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So anyway, we'll come back to this sentence in the next class. It's extremely difficult. Don't get frustrated. Don't get upset. Kedub J, at the end of this section, he says, look, some people don't talk about this stuff because they don't understand it. And I'm talking about it. And I don't care. He says that. All right. So let's come back to 289 next time. Utpala, can you try to translate 289 and 290? Okay. Work on 289. Don't get worried. What is that? Anytime you are stressed out in this class, it's a sign that you're learning something. If you feel comfortable and you figured something out, you shouldn't be in the class. You should go on to something that you don't understand. Okay? What happens when you graduate, when you finish third grade? They send you to fourth grade to get confused. Really? Okay, they don't teach you the same third grade thing over again, right? Is it true? Okay. Okay, so 289, 290 for next time, Utpala, okay?
I'm going to ask
Cool.
that we go back to 287
I'm totally happy to do that.
because it
Yeah.
seems to me to contradict what you just said was said in 288. So I'd like to understand how they're not
Okay.
contradictory.
I'm happy to do that. And I'm happy to do that. Yep.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's do that. Okay. And let's not go on until we understand it. All right. How's that?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Don't get frustrated. We're okay. We're learning something. Either this is gibberish. Either the author doesn't know what he's talking about, or there's something important here. Okay.
I
All right.
bet it's the latter.
We hope it's the latter. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
Take a
Michelle.
break, you guys. If you want to hear eating sounds, I'll leave the microphone on. It gets exciting in this room between the second and third class. All right.
But let's come back in 5 minutes to start the quiz, if that's okay, so that Adam gets a full class.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun.